You turn your
Boom. And we are live with another episode of the Brownwater Banter podcast. My name is Jared Seymour.
My name is Joey Cates.
That's right. And in the studio, we have Carrie, Taranto, Chipley, Ward 2, Councilwoman, and Sheriff Matt Haley. We're going to be talking about the United in Blue event coming up in June. But before we do that, like we always do, we want to thank the sponsors, the people that keep the lights on for us over here at the Brownwater Studio. Right out of the gate, Dr. Robbie Williams over at Southern Magnolia Smiles. If you're looking for a great local dentist, hit them up, man. They're on the socials at Southern Magnolia Smiles on Facebook and Instagram. And when you're ready to book that appointment, you can give them a call at 228-215-1202 and tell them that we sent you. If you find yourself in need of legal representation for any reason, Taylor & Cox Law Firm has been practicing law on the Mississippi Gulf Coast for 30 years. They specialize in felonies, misdemeanors, DUIs, family law, divorce, child custody. Like I said, if you find yourself in need for legal representation, you want somebody that's going to fight for you, our buddy Tyler over at Taylor & Cox is the man. So give him a shout at 228-696-0111. Rocky Brooks over at Sea to Swamp. You can look them up on Facebook as well. Sea, the number 2, and then Swamp. He's got 2 locations on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, one in Goshen and now one in Gulfport. He's got all your tackle and apparel needs covered. You can give him a call at 228-205-3964. Go pick up a kayak or brownwater gear. He's got rods, reels. He does reel repair. He supports all of the local brands here, like Charter Trash. Like I said,
Snapper season opens next weekend.
Yeah, so you might need to make sure your gear's in working order before you go running out there. So our buddy Kendrick over at Forever Young Men and Women's Health. If you find yourself lethargic, you can't get off the couch, you've been wanting to get back into the gym, but you just can't do it. You feel like a big turd. Well, give Forever Young Men and Women's Health a call or look them up on Facebook. Go book a consultation. Let them do some blood work on you. See if you need hormone replacement. You know, Kendrick specializes in testosterone replacement for both men and women, believe it or not. Go back and watch that episode if you want to know more about what we're talking about. But you can give them a call at 228-363-6623. Almost made it the whole way. And then our buddy over at Dewey Do Bugs, man. They're right here in D'Iberville. Larry, you can look them up on Facebook as well. Dewey Do Bugs. They're slinging boiled seafood right over here across the street from the Scarlet Pearl. We hosted our fishing tournament over there. We were thoroughly impressed. If you haven't had the Maverick, go in there and ask for it. You will not be disappointed. All right, I beat you again.
Go ahead.
Did I beat you?
Yeah, keep going.
You got a lot left on there.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. So first, thank y'all both for stopping by tonight. This was supposed to be Monday for people on the interwebs that are wondering why we changed the event 15 times, but we had a torrential downpour and we are in a metal building, so we kicked it over to tonight. But can y'all tell us what we're talking about here? Because I'm learning as we go on this one. Joey scheduled it as just you, so I'm learning as we go. The United in Blue.
United in Blue. We, first of all, thank you for hosting us.
Always.
And I'm really excited to have Sheriff Matt Haley here with us.
Thanks, Carrie.
Thank you for coming.
We were talking. He looks a little more relaxed, right?
Yeah.
Let's go around here.
He's a little more
like a
loose
weight off
seat.
of his shoulders.
Huge weight.
Right. Huge weight. No longer campaigning.
No longer campaigning.
For what?
It's only all of Harrison County on his shoulders now.
Yeah,
but
I mean, it's only the second largest county in the state. No big deal.
Right. No
Who's
big deal.
really counting?
Right.
Well, we're here to talk about our foundation, United in Blue. In 2016, there was a tragedy in Baton Rouge. Many of you probably remember it. There was a mass shooting, and 6 officers were shot, and 4 died in that event. And local law enforcement officers and public leaders really felt a calling to step up to the plate and do something for our community over there, our law enforcement community in Baton Rouge, and kind of loosely formed United in Blue and through a fundraiser at the Golden Nugget Casino. And in just that was in July 17th, 2016 that happened. And in November, the event was hosted. So in just a very short amount of time, a lot of people came together and hosted this large event. I'd say maybe 1,000 people were in.
Yeah, so it was 1,000 people at the event, and what was crazy is the event started as a spaghetti dinner. You know, we were going to try to raise $10,000 and send it over to the families in Baton Rouge, and it was right in the heat of when all of that happened, and it just exploded, and people come from everywhere wanting to wanted to be involved, wanting to help, and it was then moved to the Golden Nugget, who volunteered their services and to help do everything that they could. And it just, I mean, it snowballed. It just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And it turned into a huge event. In just 3 months, we raised $78,000 for those officers' families. We were able to give each family a check for $10,000. So it was huge.
Wow. Yeah, that is huge. I've got the flyer that y'all sent over. I'm going to put that on the screen right out of the gate so people can see it. And we'll continue down the story, of course.
Yeah.
But it is United in Blue presents Night in Blue. And this is going to be June 22nd. The event starts at 6 p.m. at the Golden Nugget. It says on here, I'm just reading right off the flyer. It says cash bar, light hors d'oeuvres. Keynote speaker will be
right up there for y'all.
Yeah, Sean Tyndall. Okay, yeah.
Sean Tyndall.
And then some additional guest speakers. So monetary donations can be mailed. If you want to mail it in, I'll read that off to P.O. Box 6326, D'Iberville, Mississippi 39540. And we just or go to unitedinblue.net as well. So that's it's a tragedy, but then that you turn into a great event for a great reason, right?
Right. It brings a lot of law enforcement together, and it brings a lot of people in the community together. And, you know, even if you can't go and you want to be involved, you can go to that website, you can donate. You know, we're looking for silent auction items. There's a lot of different ways that you can help if you're not able to be here, or, you know, you just want to be involved somehow. So I would encourage people that, you know, want to help to go on the website and, you know, do what you can.
Yeah.
You said 2016, but you kind of, was there all the way full run to where we are now? Or were there some breaks in there?
No. Funny story. Not really funny, but in real quick, you know, I got to give props where it's due. And Zach Grady, you know, he's Representative Zach Grady now. You know, in 2016, you know, I remember him calling me, and you know, Zach worked for me at one time. I was over the narcotics unit. Zach was a narcotics investigator. And I want to say he had gotten out of law enforcement at that time, but all this had happened, and he called me and he said, Matt, I just, you know, this is on my heart and I want to do this. Will you help me? And I said, absolutely. So that's how it kind of got started. And then fast forward, you know, Zach and I were both in the middle of a you know, a hard campaign. You know, he was running for representative and I was running for sheriff. And, you know, he calls me right in the middle of it and he's like, Matt, I realize this isn't the best time, but, you know, I think it's time that we get this thing together again. It was, you know, a friend of ours had lost his son in Bay St. Louis. You know, he was killed in the line of duty. And it was just several officers, you know, one after another, Robert McKeithen in Biloxi, the two Bay St. Louis officers, the George County officer, the Hancock County officer. I mean, it was, you know, I think it's 5 total, but, you know, it was just, he said, it's just time. So, you know, here we are today. And I think we're 38 days from, you know, from the event.
Yeah, it's game time.
And we're just trying to, you know, rally the troops, so to speak.
Put it out there.
Yeah.
Up on us quick.
That's way too many people to have to name off just since 2016.
Yeah,
you know,
it really is.
People don't stop and realize.
One is too many.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. And that's way more than one that you just named.
You know, once upon a time, you know, it was once in a blue moon that you'd hear of a police officer getting killed. And now it's, you know, it's almost daily. And it's, you know, it's sad that's where we're at.
Yeah. I remember I worked at Central Office on 49 and that officer got in a wreck and he died.
Rob Curry.
Yeah. Dude, it's like the whole world stopped. I mean, everybody shut everything down. It was crazy. Like that was the first time I've ever actually seen an officer that I remember died on line of duty.
I was in Hattiesburg when those officers, y'all remember that? It was 2014, 15, somewhere around in there. And that was a bad situation, but the only thing I do remember is the community coming together and united. I mean, I remember driving from Hattiesburg to come back to the coast. There were fire trucks lined up with American flags everywhere when they brought their bodies home. You know, it was a terrible event, but it is always good to see the community unite around something like that, right? It's kind of hard to say. It
really is. And if you look across the United States, you know, tragedies like that, it's sad, but it does bring people together.
Right.
And, you know, I can't speak in other states, but here in the South, you know, the communities really come out when something like that happens.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times I like to brag, like we're a buffer. some of the things you see on like national news, I'm like, it's not really that bad for us here.
That's true.
Unfortunately, this seems to be like it's trickled down and we do have to experience that.
Yeah, we do.
And that's really what United in Blue is. And that's why we kind of reconvened here recently. In 5 years, we had 5 officers here on the coast that's local. And when that much tragedy in such a small area hits, it really kind of pulls together. And that's, God, this sounds funny. Sheriff Haley.
Hey, let me tell you real quick, and this is funny. I hear sheriff now, and I'm still looking around.
Right.
And I'm like, they're talking to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun. It's odd for me too, Carrie.
That's that's what he's talking about. Here in the South, we still pull together, and our local law enforcement family, we're a pretty tight group. And that stands together, and this is our way to pay it forward for our community. We did that for Baton Rouge,
right?
And we noticed that there's a need here in the Gulf Coast, and it's just a chance for the public to kind of come together and to show their support.
So many times, and I'm just jumping in here. So many times when that happens, people are always, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do?
Right.
And then you got to worry about, is it real?
Yeah.
Right.
And
it went out again.
God bless it.
Yeah.
There it goes.
No, that's theirs. Flip that one again.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So this is an opportunity for them to become involved, and just to let you know what we're doing. So we are raising money. A lot of law enforcement, they live paycheck to paycheck. And there are some benefits that are available to those families in the time of need, but it takes some time from the date of the incident until those benefits kick in. So this gives us an opportunity to step in immediately and provide some financial assistance. But then you have other needs that are there that a lot of people don't think about. That officer comes home after working I don't know how many hours that week, and he cuts the grass and he makes minor home repairs,
right?
And he helps put together, his son's bicycle when he's learning how to ride his bike, and he makes sure the oil's changed in the car, things of that nature. Well, who's there to step in and do that at that point? And we're offering a chance for the public to come together within our foundation and step up and volunteer those types of services as well.
And a lot of people that I'm sure that have friends or family in law enforcement or that's a fireman or a public servant. Most of them all have second jobs. That's
Absolutely.
not their only job.
Yeah.
You can barely make a living off of the money that you make.
True.
So they all have second jobs. So it helps with that too. And the money that we raise off of this, other than what it costs to put the event on, every bit of it goes to the family. 100% of it goes to the families.
Right.
You brought up a point that I had heard on a podcast that I watched about military families, especially in like special forces communities, when they lose somebody, that gap that you don't think about if you're not in that community, if you're not military or law enforcement, like you're talking about, from the time like an insurance or something would pay out for that, there's this where the paycheck stops coming in and these people don't have anything to rely on, especially if it's a single income family.
Yeah.
So this event can help with that, correct?
Right. The paycheck stops that day.
That's
but your bills don't.
Right.
And that money and help is coming because there are benefits that are set up for, families in this situation, but there's still a pretty big time gap there, and somebody really needs to step forward. Another thing that we are going to accomplish is memorializing these officers in different means, something specific for each one, a little bit different, whether it be planting a tree with a park bench in their community. One of the officers was known for his marksmanship, so we're going to set up an annual scholarship for officers coming out of the academy, where they may be able to purchase some gear that they need in his name, toy drives, different things of that nature. Just a unique way for us to memorialize each officer within their community, so that their memory and their legacy carries on. And it's the right thing to do. And so we're the foundation that saw the need and formed, and we're stepping up to the plate to make sure that happens.
And so, go ahead.
I was going to say, and it is a 501c3 because a lot of big companies ask that.
Right.
Sure. Everything's tax deductible. You can write it off. So your accountant's going to love it, and you get to feel good about it too, because you're really making a difference in your community and you're able to show your support. Like he was saying, a lot, or y'all everyone was saying, really, you see all across the United States, defund the police and
Mhm.
all of these. We don't have that here, and we, everyone hates the police until you pick up the phone. You need them,
Right.
911, right? They're the
Right.
first people you call when you need somebody. So it's our responsibility to show our appreciation.
And I've said this 1,000 times. It's different here in the South.
It really is.
It's
Thank
different.
goodness.
You don't see all that down here.
Right.
I have a lot of family that live in different states, not where we live. And they always call me when these things are going on, and I'll tell them all the same thing. It's not like that here.
No.
People are still raising their kids to be respectable kids and respect law enforcement for the most part. I'm not saying you don't have the occasional bad seed, but for the most part, families are still raising their children the right way.
Yeah. And that's, like I said, I'm proud of that. Camera's out again. I'm proud of that. We'll just leave it on them.
Yeah.
But I hate to hear, like you said, the amount of names that you said
Five.
there.
Five in a
just too
5-year
many.
term.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the event? This is how many events like this have we had?
So this is only the second one. The last one was 2016.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so it's been long enough.
Okay.
And it will be an annual event because we do see that there's a need. There's always going to be a need for this, unfortunately, whether it's here on the coast or maybe someplace in the northern part of the state or a neighboring state. And eventually we'd like to take it nationwide. So we do plan on it being an annual event.
Right.
And that way we can have groups of volunteers ready to dispatch if there's a need, or just money available in case of, a tragedy happening.
Right.
And it's not even just tragedies. Like right now, I know that there's a local family of a first responder that's in great need of help for a medical situation. I believe they need around $10,000. And once we're a little more collected and established, that would be something that we could step in and assist those families. So it will be an annual event.
Yeah.
But this one's going to be pretty spectacular. So we're really hoping to see a lot of familiar faces there, new faces, and just really kind of pour over the love onto these families of the officers that we're going to be honoring.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Pour over the love. Let me write that down.
Yeah. Put that in your notes.
He's going to take that quote from you.
That's what I was going to ask. I mean, it's local. We're going to help our people first. And then once we get, hopefully, pray to God, nothing happens down here that we need it.
Well,
where we can send it somewhere else.
I mean, the first event, it wasn't for anybody here. This was for Baton Rouge. So, it's
and it was huge.
It doesn't have to be specific to here, but, it is now. This event this is right here at home. So if you were ever going to get involved, now would be the time.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what if a business is hearing this and they want to get involved? What can they do?
They can. All they have to do is go to our website.
Okay.
They can do anything that they need to do from the website. There's
sponsorship opportunities.
Sponsorship. Yep.
You can be a sponsor of the event. You can also sponsor one of the families of the fallen officers. So we still have some of those sponsorships available. We'll be bringing those families in, providing hotel for them if they'd like to stay there at the casino for the evening, a special room where they can meet with our state and local legislators and just talk to them, and spend some time with the other sponsors. And then
so they're going to be at the event. The family's going to be at the event.
The families will be at the event.
Right.
So it's a chance for people to really show
Connect,
up and show up big for them as well. So you can sponsor the event, you can sponsor a family, you can purchase tickets and just come and have a good time.
If you don't want to be there and you just want to buy a table and give the tickets to people, you can do that. So
yeah, we'll be happy to distribute it to local law enforcement officers who want to come and enjoy the evening. We will have entertainment.
We had during the last event, we had people, companies that would say, look, we can't come, but we'd like to, we would like to have a table and give that table to, Gulfport Police Department or Biloxi Police Department. There was a lot of that went on. So
I'm dropping a link right now in the comments on the live feed to your website. So like you said, all you got to do is click on it now if you want to go check it out. Zachary's in the comments as well. No problem, man. It's our pleasure. So the website link is right there. Just click right on it, and y'all are saying you can do whatever you want from that link.
And we are going to have an auction, a silent auction, and we're hoping to have a couple of big items for a live auction as well. So if a local business or individual wants to donate a product or a service, they can do that as well.
Yeah, we would love to have a lot of that.
So charter trips, fishing trips, hotels,
anything like
we
that.
can give
Because
away.
again, sometimes people will come to the event and it may be something minor. A watch that's worth $100 that sells for $600 just because they want to, they want to give.
Yeah. I think it's unfortunate that we have to do things like this, but what a great way to help these people out in need. So if you're listening and you got whatever, like Joey said, we got a lot of fishing people in our audience.
Oh yeah.
You can donate anything. It doesn't have to. I mean, donate a trip, anything anybody would want to buy on a silent auction, right?
Well, who doesn't want to go fish in our Gulf waters?
Right. Exactly.
That's the perfect day there.
Exactly. Now I know there was a lot of notes down here on the table. Did we cover?
Did we get everything?
Did we hit all the bullet points?
I know there was a
kicker.
I think we did.
Did we get the time?
I wanted to, again, I wanted to give Representative Zach Grady props and Carrie Taranto props and Representative Kevin Felcher. He's been involved in this also. There's a lot of
lots of people.
Yeah, I know y'all kind of. Some people you have a name, but I've seen a lot of people on y'all's team.
There's a ton of people involved. Right. These are just ones that are right at the top of my head.
So I did want to mention the officers that will be recognized in that evening.
Sure.
Right.
Our local officers, just for reference, May 5th, 2019, Biloxi officer Robert McKeithen. February 1st, 2021, Officer Michael Butte of Hancock County. December 14th, 2022, was our Bay St. Louis officers, Brandon Astorf and Stephen Robin. And then most recently on January 4th, 2024, Officer Jeremy Malone out of George County. And I hope that this is where this list stops. And, I'd like to say that this would be the end period, but I hope that any officers that we have to honor in the future are not here in our community, because when it's someone that it just kind of cuts a little bit deeper. And we have suffered a lot of loss here locally.
Hey, and let me just add, this is a great week for us to do this because it's Police Week.
National Police Week.
This week right now.
This week right now. National Police Week.
Thank you very much.
So what more reason to go to our website today or this week?
Purchase tickets, make a donation, sponsor.
If you have silent auction items, we will come get them.
Okay.
If you cannot bring them to us.
Yeah.
Sheriff Matt Haley can come
I
pick
can
them
personally come get them myself.
In a sheriff car?
Yeah, right.
if it's necessary, yes.
See, the only time
will you turn the lights
I'll turn the lights on, all that good stuff.
The only reason it would be good to have the sheriff show up to your house would be to pick up for a fundraiser. So, well, if we've covered all and we haven't left anything out, like you said, I hope that this event continues to grow and raise money, but we could also donate that money for not fallen officers, right? Because we want that list to stop and do some of the things like you said, families in need just medically, right? And
just to support whatever their needs are. We really just want to be an extension to the community as a helping hand in any way that we can to help alleviate any troubles and offer assistance in however they need it.
Right. Well, and it's planned on a yearly event, so we'll sit here next year and talk about the same thing.
There you go.
Maybe next year every year but maybe next year we'll concentrate more on even having a good time and celebrating all of the positive things that has happened in the community.
That's a good idea.
I like it. Thank you all again for stopping by. Thank you for putting on a great event. UnitedInBlue.net for people listening on the audio. There's links to there as well. There's links in the live. Go there, support. This is local. This is your community. Be a part of it and get involved with the great event. And we thank everybody for tuning in.
Yep.
See you on the next one.
Thank you.
Later.
Thank you.